And welcome back to Across the Board with E and the Colonel here on hawkradio.org and acrosstheboardradio.com. That's what we say every week, the best bands on the planet. And we mean that. We don't just mean the best bands in the U.S. or on the East Coast or North America, wherever, on the planet. So we go out and find the best bands for you. Good friends of the show, Christopher DeCinque and Closure in Moscow and Equal Vision Records and all of those guys. We talk to them about great bands, and they put us in touch with Secrets in Scale, another great Australian band out of Melbourne, Australia. And Dave McGuire is with us right now. Dave, welcome to the show.
Hey, how you going?
Things are good, man. I know it's early for you there, so we appreciate you getting up early to talk with us. I know you said daylight savings times just clicked over in Melbourne. So, how are things going?
Yeah.
You guys are, working on your debut album, and that's coming out, early next year? Is that right?
Yeah, we don't have an official date yet, but we've had it kind of sitting there for a little bit, and we've been shopping it around and kind of discussing the best way to go about releasing it. But yeah, it's all recorded and mixed up. And we've dropped an album sampler in the last 12 months just to have something out there floating around in the meantime. So yeah, it'll be early next year. We've got to get it out. So we'll do it. We're pretty keen to get it out and do a tour around Australia, and hopefully the Closure boys want to do that, but we'll find out. I'm not so sure at this point.
Do you feel like the album got put out in the time that you wanted it to get done? Did it get out a little later than you wanted, earlier than you wanted?
Production-wise?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did it. I think we had like 20 days booked or something with Chris Crummett, who also produced Closure's album.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and we flew him over, which is what they did for their EP originally. And that worked out well. And, John, the drummer, my brother actually,
right,
and Chris, they both got hit by a car, so it went really well.
Now, I know Christopher, like we said, from Closure, when they got Chris Crummett, they actually had to do a lot of sacrifices to be able to afford him as a producer. I know Chris actually sold his car to be able to afford Chris Crummett. Did you guys have to make any crazy sacrifices to be able to get him on the project as a producer?
Well, I guess I did sell my car actually as well.
Oh, man.
About it. Yeah.
He needs to bring down his rates. Wow.
Good cash cow.
Yeah.
On the old car. But, I guess we saved up. And we also applied for a grant from our government and that pays probably for a third of that. But yeah, we're still paying off now, to be honest.
Well, that's pretty cool. I don't think the American government would give out loans to bands, to burgeoning bands. That's pretty sweet. Of course, we owe money to other countries.
It is really good. They actually have quite the budget. Well, yeah, I guess they do. I mean, quite a few bands apply for it and do quite well if they know what they're doing.
Wow, that's a sweet program they have over in Australia. Again, you're listening to Across the Board with Ian, the Colonel, over here.
I'm moving over there.
Yeah, moving to Australia. Might as well, right? And we're talking with Dave McGuire from Secrets in Scale. By the way, Dave coming to us through Skype. So shout out to Skype if they want to sponsor the show by any chance. Hit us up. Dave, what is the Australian music scene like? I mean, I know with rock, it must be massive right now and just energetic because you have the Soundwave Festival that comes through every year, and you have you guys, you have Closure. Years ago, Silverchair was one of the bigger bands. Obviously, AC/DC. What is the rock scene like in Australia right now?
Well, I guess like anywhere where bands will come and go, and some bands will serve longer than others.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's always a band, up and coming bands all the time, and like you say with the Soundwave Festival, building every year. Although I think this I've never actually been myself, funny enough, but
need to get out there, Dave. Let's go.
Most people do. It is one of those popular things. So I think they canned it this year or something, and they're doing a little side show instead. But Soundwave Revolution or something. But yeah, I mean, the kids always can't go out to that. Well, everyone, small ages actually, they're quite big events. as is the Big Day Out as well, which has been going for years and years and years in Australia. That's probably the other main festival.
Okay.
But yeah, there's some good bands down here. In our old state that we used to live in Adelaide, in South Australia, some of the bands kind of skipped over that. It was a bit smaller. But in Melbourne and Sydney, especially, the music scene is quite good. Although local pubs, I must say, local pubs, because of a few government issues, like having had like plenty of security guards and that kind of thing.
Really?
They're kind of dying off a little bit. But the underground scene is kind of dying off a little bit, which is a bit unfortunate.
Yeah.
So we got a great recommendation from Closure in Moscow about you guys. If you were to give us a recommendation of a band that you really think is underrated and people aren't really talking about that they should be talking about, who would you recommend?
There's a band down here who are just recording their album, and they're actually from New Zealand, but they've been they toured down here a couple of times, and then they're living in Melbourne at the moment, and they're called Gatherer.
Gatherer.
Yeah, Gatherer.
Gatherer. I'll have to check them
They
out.
are. If you can check those guys out, they will blow your mind. They've got I think they're a 4-piece now, but they used to be just a 3-piece. And it is a pleasure to listen to. Very rhythmic, with a very, very heavy, dirty bass kind of sound. Very melodic like Queen, but very aggressive like Nirvana. And very rhythmic, like almost like the Sugar at some point.
Interesting. I like that. We'll have to check those guys out. We'll keep this whole circle going. Now, Dave, tell us a little bit about your band. I know it's you and your brother, and you guys are basically you are the entire band. And oddly enough, you put kind of crazy stuff on your Facebook, like that you do guitar and you sing, and you also do the mumbles, and that your brother does the mother rambles and that kind of stuff. So you guys clearly have a sense of humor. But I mean, the guitar parts that you play are incredible.
Amazing.
I mean, I would liken them to like Muse, stuff like that. You guys are talented musicians. What's your background of both you and your brother?
Well, yeah, I guess we've been playing together in all sorts of bands, like all our lives, really. Like, well, not when I say all our lives, probably, like 10, 15 years ago. So we've grown up. Like there was always a guitar in the house. My parents both played guitar a little bit. My dad played bass, and there was always a drum kit at church that we could just jump on after the service. So we used to do that and have a jam. So yeah, we just built up from there. We used to play in a punk rock band. Actually, that's how we really got started playing live. Like stuff like No Effects and Pennywise and that kind of stuff.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah, but I definitely did get into Muse with their first album drop. So yeah, it was, I don't know, it's just been a building up and a kind of a natural evolving of the sound and our playing, I guess. But we do play well together. I think that's probably one of our strengths, is that we kind of know, how each other plays, and it's been working quite well.
I don't like to normally compare bands to other bands, but for the sake of people who haven't heard what you sound like, on your website you say that it says that it's a frantic rock sound that lies between Radiohead and The Fall of Troy. I like that comparison, but after listening to a lot of it, I personally, and I agree with E on this when he said Muse, I really think you guys have a mix that sounds a lot like Muse and even a little bit of like Postal Service.
Yeah, I can see that.
I definitely love the sound of it.
Yeah, well, I guess we kind of do get compared to a whole lot of bands that people just kind of, I don't know, they hear something that reminds them of, something they know, but something they're familiar with,
Right.
But the songwriting doesn't go about just by saying, we're going to try and be like this band or try and make this song like this. It's kind of just a natural thing. I mean, I personally like good ranges of music, and so different stages. Sometimes we're playing the guitar, and if the song naturally just wants to go somewhere, I'm not going to stop it. And if it ends up sounding like postal service, and so be it, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, your sound is unique. I really like it. Like E said earlier, too, the guitar riffs are really just amazing to hear. The bass is laid out well, and, just really, it's it's just a musical contraction of greatness. I hear different parts, and I can put them all together, and it's really, I enjoy it. I really do, and that's why, when a band like Closure recommends you to us, we listen. The same thing happened with Closure. The first time I heard them, I'm like, "Oh, these guys are great," and
they get it. Yeah.
The same thing here.
Yeah, you definitely need to get on Warped Tour or something like that, Dave. Get over to the States. At least we can see you guys. Or
right?
If we can save up the money and get to Australia, I'd prefer that actually.
Right.
But either way works.
Have a trip down there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Right.
I would love to. Yeah, love to pursue the band in all fronts. Kind of touring is something that we need to work on. To be honest, we need to get a better team around us because it's just me and John really organising everything and kind of doing it all on by ourselves. So we need to get a good team around us, and that can kind of help us to get those tours, and also overseas. It would be great to go to Asia, go to the US, and the UK just to play. While we're not so old, we can hopefully get out and about and share some music around.
Yeah.
But it's just a matter of building up to that stage, and just I guess not letting things hang too long. I guess we've let this album hang a little bit long, perhaps, but we're pretty proud of it. We want it to be more of an event than just a little splash in the pan kind of thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Dave, something we like to ask all of our guests, if you knew the world was going to end in, say, 10 to 15 minutes, what is the last song that you would want to hear or perform? It can be yours or anybody else's, but the last song that you hear.
I'm terrible with song names. I never look at the song titles, but
I'll hit maybe a band then.
Father bands, yeah, even my own bands, no. So, I'd probably maybe put on a Radiohead song, just because I'm loving the Radiohead.
Okay.
Really, probably something off, I'm not really sure. Maybe Pyramid Song, actually, I remember that
okay.
title.
I was going to say High and Dry or OK Computer, there's some of those songs. Fake Plastic Trees. That's not a good one to go out to. I don't know. But Creep. That's definitely not a good choice. But yeah, there's some good ones by them. Well, Dave, the new album's coming out and in early next year. And where can fans? Again, we have fans listening around the world right now, including your home country of Australia. There in Melbourne. Yeah. Where can they keep in touch with you guys and follow all of the updates about when the album's coming out? Where they can see you play live?
Yeah, I guess the easiest thing is to jump on Facebook. We're at facebook.com/Secrets and Scale, and you can just go on there. And we've actually got we had a first release, which is just a digital EP release, and that's on there for free download. Also, the album sampler, which has 4 songs off the album, slightly different mix, that's on there as well. So there's 10 tracks for free, and from there we can keep in touch. With the tour updates, and also with when the album comes out, everyone will be able to know, because you get on the email list, and also with Facebook. If you like us on there, we can just the easiest way to let people know, I guess.
Yeah, we'll do. Everybody definitely go out and do that. Check these guys out. Incredible band, and get to know them now because they are about to blow up.
Yeah, and definitely download the sampler, because that's going to be your best way to learn who they are and experience their music, as he always says, experience music.
Yeah.
And of course, you'll be able to hear it here.
That's what it's there for, just a little sample. And the album itself, we're quite excited about getting that out, because that goes not so much in a whole another direction at all, but there's more of the same kind of thing. Because I think the album starts, we put on 4 tracks, which are all a little bit of a taste of a different element of the whole album. So there's hopefully, it comes across as quite a good mix, and a good precursor to the album.
We're looking forward to the full album coming out. Of course, we will have Secrets and Scale songs here on Hawk Radio in heavy rotation, putting them out there so you can always listen to them here as well on hawkradio.org and across the board. Yeah, absolutely, man. So Secrets and Scale, check these guys out. And like I said, listen to their music and get to know them now. They're going to get huge, and you can say, hey, I knew them way back when. So we'll be back in a few minutes here on Across the Board with Ian the Colonel on hawkradio.org.
And acrosstheboardradio.com.